Courtney.
And I'm Jay.
And this is the Pretty Awkward Podcast. So this is episode 1, where we're going to be talking about some pretty awkward sex stories. We had some of our viewers share some of their stories with us, so we're going to share them with you all today and talk about them a little bit. If you want to talk a little bit more, ladies, you can go onto our Facebook group. Again, that's ladies only, where we can talk a little bit more about these stories or share any other ones that this may have sparked after the podcast. We also are on Instagram.
Yes, so Instagram, the Pretty Awkward Pod. And make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube page, and then anywhere you can find other podcasts, those platforms, make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to keep up with us. And so this is going to be a fun one. So we're talking about sex stories. We're just going to have like a little girl talk. We had a few of our friends to write into us and share some of their sex stories, and we're going to share some of ours too. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with, let's just call her Tina. So everyone is going to remain like anonymous, but let's call this first woman Tina. So Tina heard from her friend that a way to kind of spice up sex, like when receiving head, was to put lemon drops in your vagina. And so this is her first time trying it. She said that she put like a little piece of candy, inserted it in her vagina, and she said she guessed that she didn't hear all of the instructions. She didn't get all of like the instructions. So she thought, okay, I'm gonna sit it right there. My man is on the way home. So it should be ready by the time he gets here, right? And so they're like, it's getting hot and spicy. They're kissing and da-da-da. He goes down and he starts, giving her a head. And then he just says, what the hell is that? And it just literally just plopped out. She said that it plopped out, the whole piece of candy. So when she went back and talked to her friend, it was like, girl, guess what happened? Like, oh my God, it went terribly. She was like, you were supposed to let it dissolve at least an hour or two. Like, you can't just let it sit there like 20 minutes. Like, so yeah. But before it like plopped out, he was into it. So, but yeah, that was
lemon drop.
Right, some lemon drop head. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a new one.
That's it. Yeah. I told her, I was like, okay, I mean, did you try it again? And she was like, no. I was like, yeah, I think she was traumatized, so she didn't try it again. But it works with some people, so hey, pineapples, lemon drops.
I was gonna say, I heard pineapples before.
Yeah, yeah, but the lemon drop,
that's a new
gotta
one.
keep that in, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so next story that we read, this one I thought was pretty hilarious as well. This girl said she was hanging out with a friend. They were in 10th grade. They were hanging out at the Sheets. And they had some mac and cheese bites, some Oreo milkshake. Before they knew it, she was giving him a BJ, and then all of a sudden she is vomiting Oreo milkshake all over his junk and down his legs. Mortifying. She said though his line was, "It's okay, I get puked on all the time at work."
Oh my God.
He's an EMT.
She took it, so he took it.
Like a champ.
Yeah, I took the champ. Like, for sure. Like, it would have been over. Like, I would have been like, listen,
if it's that bad.
Right. Like, so she must have been, okay, she hit some gag reflexes back there. Like,
at least it wasn't the mac and cheese bites that came back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, at least the Oreo milkshake is a little sweet, like, I hope it didn't smell too bad. But then he took like a champ. He's like, yeah, I'm working EMT. Like, I've seen worse. So. Okay, woo. So that was a good one. So I'm gonna share another one. We're gonna call this person Lisa. Yeah, Lisa. So Lisa, okay, forget it. It's me. It's my story. I'm just gonna tell my story, okay? Like, I'm just gonna tell my story. So this was like in college. I don't know if you ladies can relate. But when you're like dating someone, I know for me, like, I would be like dating, like casually like dating, like, oh, you take me to the movies, da da da. Like, in my head, I already know, I'm like, I am not having sex with this guy. Like, he's cute, but I'm just not gonna go there with him. Like, I already had that set in my mind, right? But then as the night went by, I was like, okay, well, maybe he can just give me head, right? And so we went back to my place. And, we were, like watching a movie, kind of got hot or whatever. Anyway, so he proceeded to give me it. And when I tell you terrible, it was terrible. So in my mind, I'm just thinking, how do I make it stop?
Oh, no.
How do I make it stop?
No.
Like, how do I end it? How do I make it stop? So I just kind of pushed him off, and I just had like a whole dramatic, like, you know me, like I'm super dramatic. So I was just like, and he's like, what's going on? I was like, I just can't stop thinking about my ex-boyfriend.
No, not the ex-boyfriend.
I just had like a terrible breakup. Like, he was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Like, I'm sorry if you wasn't ready. Like, but I had to get out of there. Like, it was so bad. Like, I just had to. That's the only thing that I could think of. I'm like, how do I can't say that something happens to like a family member. I didn't want to, do that. So I'm just like, I'm just in an emotional wreck right now. Like, it's just so
At least
much.
he didn't get mad.
He didn't. Like, he took it like a champ, and he was like, okay, do you want me to go? I was like, yes. And he left, and yeah, that was that. So, but I mean, that was many, many years ago. That was when we since married, and but that was I had to get out of there. Like, it was terrible. Like, terrible head. Have you ever had like terrible head? Like, it was terrible. Like, yeah. Sorry, I couldn't sit there for it.
All right. So this next one, short and sweet. She said that she and her man were doing it doggy style. He went to pull out and pinch it up, and hand slipped, and it went all in her ear instead.
Hold on a minute.
I don't know what that means.
What? Wait. Okay, how did doggy style turn into ear lobe? Like, how does that happen? Like, in my mind, I'm trying to like ear. Like, that's grounds for breakup too. That's grounds for like, listen, if you when they say wrong hole, you never think about
the ear
as a whole. Come on now, like, that's okay. Terrible. Okay, so another story that I have, not mine. This is from Jill. Yeah, let's call her Jill. So she said that she was, making love to her then fiance, and she said that he was like really into it, and it was like they were just like making passionate sex, and it was just like so good. And so he was like, okay, he was like telling her like, okay, I'm about to come, right? And he came, and when he was coming, she said that he let out like 3 farts. Like 3, and it was like loud. She said that she was so disgusted. She said that I had been with this man plenty of times, and this has never happened. But she was like, it was like simultaneous, like coming and farting, and I was like, and she was like, it wasn't just like a like a queef, like it was like, she was like it was a like smelling bad, like terrible. I was like, oh my God, like what a way to like ruin the mood. Like usually you're happy for your man if he's like enjoying himself, but when it comes with that, it's like, come on now, y'all. Y'all have to hold it in. I know. She said that he just released everything. Like,
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Men, get it together. Get it together. Like,
all the things, it just all came out.
Get it together. Like, he just like released it. He couldn't hold anything in. I was like, wow, that's gross.
Wow. Okay. Smell and all.
Yeah, she said smell and all. Like, it was gross.
Guess that moment was done.
Yeah. They didn't get married, by the way.
They did. Oh no.
No, they never made it to the.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so next one, this person said that she was babysitting her nephew, and her boyfriend had come over. They were hanging out. When the baby went to sleep, they were messing around and did not realize that her cousins or sister, her family members, sorry, paraphrasing here, that her man had come home somewhere in the midst of that. So yeah, they're messing around. The next day, her mom and her family member were talking, and they asked her, like, were you having sex last night? And she was like, no, why? And they're like, oh, because he heard you moaning on the baby monitor.
Oh my!
So there was a baby monitor with them.
Oh my god!
And it was turned on.
That is so embarrassing. Yeah. That is embarrassing. Could you imagine? Like,
and the baby monitor like amplifies
right.
the sound too.
I know they were probably listening like, hold on, cry? Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. What is that? Like, yeah, you know, people get loud. That's pretty embarrassing. Okay, so last one for me, and I'm not gonna say who this is for. I plead the fifth. I don't know who this person is.
Okay.
But this is a little bit of a, it's a little bit off from like the trajectory that we've been on right now. But this story, is this my last one? Maybe this isn't my last one because I think so. Okay. Yeah, no, because this is not one that someone wrote in. This was something different. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is like a little bonus. I'll say this for the last one. How about this? I'm going to go back to the one that the lady wrote in. Okay, so anyway, Jane Doe, she said that she was,
let's pull this one
Sorry.
up. Now we're going to pull this one up. It was a little bit long too.
Yeah, so. But we weren't going to read from it, but okay. Oh, yeah, so, okay, she was pregnant with her son. And she said that she remembers, like, having sex. She was about like 6 months or so. And she just remembers, like, it was a lot of like fluids and stuff. She's just thinking, like, when it's full, like it's going good, right? And so she said that it just got to a point where it was like, okay, this is like a lot, right? So her husband went and turned on the light, and it was a bunch of blood.
Which is scary.
Which is super scary, especially when you're pregnant. So she said that, long story short, she ended up going, she said she was too embarrassed to call the nurse line to kind of tell the story. Yeah, like shy, like, hey, I want to call the nurse and tell her what I was up to or whatever. But it was like a blood clot, like the size, she kind of described it, but it had been like something called placenta previa, right? Have you heard of that? Yeah. So, pretty scary. So it's not really... It's a little off of the, but ladies, be careful. It's like when you're having sex. I know for me, when I was pregnant, the first time, I was not scared to have sex, but like my husband, he was like, I don't want to touch the baby. And I'm like, I don't know, can we dispel that myth, please? Why do guys think that they have like you are really just like boosting yourself up? Like, how do you think that you're gonna touch this baby's head? Okay, like, come on now. Like, I don't want to hurt my baby. I don't want to touch the baby's. How guys. Like, I hear that a lot too. Like, a lot of men say that. And I'm like, dude, it's like, you're really, you know how, long you have to be, like, to reach the baby's head or any body part? Like, come on now, guys. Okay. What else? Yeah.
Okay, last one, and this one is also pretty short and sweet, but she said that she was having sex with her husband the other day, and her kids walked in. Yeah, her one was like, well, why are you screaming? And the older one was like, why were you moaning? I don't know. Have you had that happen before?
So we say, anytime we want our privacy, we kick the kids out. And my kids are 7 and 4, so they're old enough to like just go in their rooms. Yeah. And we tell them that, we are having our private time. But it was a time when they were like a little younger. I remember like we were in the room, and I thought my husband said he locked the door, and here goes these 2 heads come popping in, and we had like they pulled the covers over us. And this is the funny. I wish I can get up and do like what my son did, but my husband was like, Drew, get out. Like, we're just exercising. We're exercising, right? And so my daughter, she was like young, so she just kind of, she's okay, and just like walked off. Yeah. But my son was like, I want to exercise too. And so we're like, Drew, no, so we'll exercise later. So this fool, like this clown, he literally goes, just imagine this little body. He goes down our hallway like doing this, like exercising, like he's I'm like, oh, he was. When I say we laughed, we could barely like get back into the groove. Like we were laughing so hard. Like he is such a clown. But on that same like vein that you just, kind of described or whatever with that last story. I have a story. I'm not going to share who it's, we're going to keep this person anonymous. But it was a story when this little girl, she was about 4 years old, and she used to sleep in the bed with her mom. So her mom's fiance at the time was our boyfriend came over, and she said that she was still in the bed. She just remembers it was like the sun had come up, and she kind of opened her eyes, and she looked down on the floor, and her mother and her boyfriend were having sex on the floor.
No.
The worst part of it all is that
plot twist.
The worst part of it all was that she said that she was too embarrassed to get up and say anything, so she tried her best to just play sleep, but she couldn't, so she just sat there with her eyes just closed and just waited for them to finish. As a little girl, could you imagine? That's traumatizing.
What?
Right? Traumatizing. First of all, parents, do not have sex in the rooms with your. If you're if the babies are babies, months, that's different. But once they are able to talk and, once you hit a 3, 4, 5, that age range, you have to just separate them. Go play them on the couch, or you go on the couch or something. You have to, because, that's just,
Oh no.
Yeah.
And she remembers vividly.
She remembers vividly. Yeah.
I guess you remember traumatic things.
Yes. Yeah. Scarring little kids. So don't do it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was fun. This was fun. We got through episode 1, right?
Right.
So I know that we're new on the scene right now. This is our first episode, but just know that we're gonna, be releasing on Wednesdays. Again, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and find us everywhere where podcasts are available.
And again, ladies, join our group because that's where all the fun is happening.
Yeah, we're going to continue these conversations and keep them going. Mm-hmm. If you have any topics, feel free to hit us up on the Instagram or the Facebook, or email us. And the email is on all of those platforms.
Right.
But yeah, this is fun. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep it going. This is exciting. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us.
And see you on the next one.